All right, let's get right into it. We're diving deep into a Champions League showdown. Benfica versus Monaco, and not just any game. It's round two.
The second leg of the playoff tie.
Exactly. High stakes.
Huge.
And we're here to give you the tips moto edge so you can impress your mates with some seriously insightful predictions.
Exactly. We'll go way beyond just, basic match recaps.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so quick recap. Benfica's coming in with a 1-0 lead from that first leg.
Right.
But here's the thing. Historically, they haven't been all that dominant on their home turf in the Champions League.
Yeah, that's right. Their home record in Europe is a bit shaky, actually. They've only won one of their last 8 Champions League matches at home.
See? That's what makes this matchup so interesting. Okay, now Benfica's coming in hot. They're on a 5-game winning streak.
That's right, yeah. And that could be their longest winning streak in over a year, which is, a key stat for any better.
It is. But let's look a little closer at those wins. Many of them have been pretty narrow 1-0 victories, like their recent wins against, Monaco in the first leg and Santa Clara in their domestic league.
Right.
So it makes you wonder, are they truly dominant or are they just kind of, squeezing by?
Well, and that's a great question. And it's something that we've been looking at very closely here at Tips Moto, what our supercomputer's been analyzing. And while their defense has been solid, they haven't exactly been blowing teams away offensively.
Right, right.
And you combine that with their Champions League home record, it just raises a few red flags. So is it a mental block? Are there some tactical reasons behind these struggles on the European stage? These are the questions.
Big questions. All right, now let's flip the script and look at Monaco. So they're coming off a massive 7-1 victory.
They hammered Nantes.
Yeah, hammered them.
Yeah.
In their domestic league. And their new signing, Mika Birith. What a name, by the way.
I know.
Scored a hat-trick.
He did.
I mean, could this be a sign that Monaco's finally turned a corner, or was it just a one-off?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? It's really interesting because despite, that offensive explosion against Nantes, Monaco has actually never beaten Benfica in their 5 previous European encounters.
Wow, really?
Yeah, they tend to struggle against teams that press high and force them into mistakes, which is...
And that's Benfica's MO, right?
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. But Monaco's recent win, it could be a sign that their attack is finally starting to click.
Yeah.
So, they've got that going for them.
Fingers crossed for them. All right, now here's where things get even more interesting, even spicier.
Oh, yeah.
Both teams are dealing with some significant player absences due to suspensions and injuries. So Benfica is missing their midfield general, Florentino.
Yeah.
He's suspended for this match.
Yeah.
And they're sweating on the fitness of Di Maria, who picked up a knock in that first leg.
Right, and let's not forget, they already have a pretty lengthy injury list as it is.
Ugh, it's a real headache for their manager, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
And then on the Monaco side, they're without Al-Musrati. He's their defensive rock in midfield.
Suspended.
Yeah, suspension carried over from that first leg.
Right. And then they're also missing 2 key defenders, Zakaria and Vanderson, yellow card accumulation.
Ooh.
Yeah, so how are these absences going to affect each team's game plan? Let's start with Benfica. I mean, they really rely heavily on Florentino's ability to, break up those opposition attacks.
Right.
And kind of dictate the tempo.
Yeah.
So without him there, I mean, could they be more vulnerable defensively?
Oh, definitely a possibility. They're going to need someone to step up and fill that void. Otherwise, Monaco's got some pretty pacey wingers, and they could cause some real problems. Remember, Monaco loves to exploit that space on the flanks, whip in those crosses.
Right.
And with Benfica's right-back situation looking a bit shaky at the moment, that could be an area that they really target. Oh, for sure. Okay, and then what about Monaco? How do you think they'll line up without their suspended players, especially in defense? I mean, they love that high defensive line, trying to squeeze the space.
Yeah.
But do you think they'll be forced to play a bit deeper now?
Well, that is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
We know they love to attack, but they're going to have to be very careful not to leave themselves too exposed at the back. And I think, considering they're away from home, already trailing by a goal, we might see them go with a slightly more cautious approach.
Yeah, makes sense.
However, they're still going to need to create chances, and that's where those wingers come in.
This is where it gets really tactical, right? And this is where I think our tips modo analysis can really give you an edge. We've been crunching the numbers, looking at all the historical data, factoring in all these key variables to, help you make smarter bets.
Absolutely, yeah. So we've been looking at, Monaco's reliance on their wingers, and while Vanderson's absence is a blow, we saw Minamino have a stellar performance against Nantes coming off the bench, a goal, 2 assists.
Wow.
Could he be the key to unlocking Benfica's defense? Or will Benfica's defensive depth just be enough to keep Monaco at bay? I mean, who knows?
So many questions.
So many questions. These are the questions we love, grappling with here at Tips Motor, right?
I know that.
And it's not just about, like individual players.
Right.
It's understanding how these absences affect the overall strategy, right?
Right, exactly. So, like, will Benfica, who, everyone knows they're aggressive, they love pressing, will they be forced to, like, sit back more without Florentino there to cover?
Right.
Or will they just stick to their guns, risk being exposed on a counter?
Well, and that's what we're trying to, figure out here. And that's where a supercomputer comes in, analyzing every pass, every tackle, every tactical nuance, just to give us that deeper understanding of how this match might unfold. So we're looking at, average positions, passing networks, defensive vulnerabilities, trying to pinpoint those areas where each team might have an advantage.
Right. So we're not just like going off gut feeling here.
Yeah.
This is like hardcore data analysis, uncovering those hidden trends, those potential game changers. That's what sets Tips Moto apart.
Yeah.
We're giving you the tools to become a smarter, more informed football fan.
Absolutely. And it's not just about making predictions, it's about understanding the why behind them. Why is Benfica struggling at home in Europe? Why has Monaco been so inconsistent on the road? And by answering these questions, I think, you start to see the game through a different lens. You start to see it through a more analytical lens.
Oh, for sure. And that's what makes this matchup so exciting. You've got these two teams with totally contrasting styles.
Right.
Both dealing with those key absences that we talked about.
Yeah.
So much uncertainty around how they're going to approach this game. It's a real tactical battle.
Yeah.
And we're here to break it all down.
Absolutely.
Tips Moto, that's what we do.
That's what we do. And what does this all mean for you? It means that, you're not just sitting there passively watching the game.
Right.
You're actively engaging with it. You're analyzing it. You're using that knowledge to make, informed predictions. It's like having your own personal team of analysts right there in your pocket,
I love that. And, that's what we're all about here at Tips Moto, right? Mm-hmm. It's a community of passionate football fans who believe that knowledge is power.
Yeah.
We want to share our insights, our data, our expertise, so you can enjoy the beautiful game on a whole new level.
Absolutely. We want you to join the conversation, share your thoughts, challenge our predictions. Because at the end of the day, football is about so much more than just winning or losing.
Right.
Right? It's about the passion, the drama, and the shared experience, of this incredible sport.
100%.